I would like to publicly shame people who don't like noodles.
Don't trust anybody that doesn't like noodles.
Welcome to Egg's Most Okayest Farm Girls. I'm Annaliese.
And I'm Courtney. Grab a drink. We're here to help.
Oh, welcome back to the podcast. As we promised, we are publicly shaming people today. This was inspired by last week's episode where everybody discussed their bad roommate situations. And it led us to just, I guess, shaming the people we think are doing things wrong. So this is your warning. Yeah, this is not a safe place today. This is a place where we tell you what's up. And if you fall into one of these categories, don't explain yourself. Yep, just do better next time.
Last recording, it kept going and going. And we're like, man, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I've got so much more material and stories to share. So part two,
which it's kind of funny because I think, pride ourselves on being pretty positive people. But here we are just yapping once again about what jerks are chained. But I think we do it in a fun way. It's entertaining. We're here to entertain.
Yes. And this is, from our listeners, a lot of it. So you guys have had a lot to get off your chest, and we're here for it.
Mm-hmm. Let's get started. Who would you like to publicly shame first?
I don't believe I shared this one last time. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we got a nice little comment when we were interviewed by Kirby for RFD TV, Dirt Diaries. They took a clip of our conversation, and it was a really nice one. You were speaking about how women in ag haven't always had a voice, and this podcast is here to give women a voice and share stories and blah, blah, blah. It was a nice clip. A man named Rod Thornson commented, "Ag media is so embarrassing these days."
What does that even mean? What did we do wrong? Are you coming at us? Are you coming at RFD TV? And
no, is it because we're women, Rod? I need you to elaborate.
Yeah.
I was like, please explain. And I haven't heard back from Rod.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Which maybe we should stop this podcast right here because it's not going to be a nice one.
Take our own advice.
Yeah. But that does irk me. People that spend their time on social media just leaving rude-ass comments. Like, you don't have to. You can just scroll on by. Not everything is going to be pleasing to your eyeballs. Not everything is going to jive with you. You're not going to love it all. Just move along, Mr. What'd you say, Thornberry? What's this fella's name?
Thornberry. Thornson. Rod Thornson. And he's in radio. I stalked him immediately. I was like, who is this guy? What's wrong with you? And I'm just confused because the clip was very tame. Like, it wasn't our usual chat. It was very tame and inspirational. And I guess he did not appreciate that.
Well, we're not for everyone. Rod, don't listen to this podcast. You're not going to like it. Oh, people. People are rude.
Anywho, who's next? Who do you want to shame?
I would like to shame the folks who use Bible verses, motivational quotes, or be kind in their bios, and then are absolutely feral in the comments. Probably like our friend Rod. Did he have some sort of Bible verse in his bio?
I don't think he did, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did, though.
I know we've kind of I don't want to get too deep into religion, organized religion. I should say, we've said, you and I are both very spiritual. We're not really going to church. We practice in our own way. But the people that are in the front pew every Sunday acting holier than thou, a lot of times are the biggest assholes. And I'm sorry, I'm not like, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? If you are going to church, no judgment, you do you. Maybe you belong to a really good church, but you know the types of people I'm talking about, right? Like they
We
think
know.
it's their way or the highway.
Right. There can be no other.
They're the
Other
first
options.
ones to judge and say something snarky and be negative. And it's like, did you read the Bible or just, open it? Are you absorbing the information?
Clearly no.
Ugh.
That's a good segue to my next point, which is cults.
Ooh. Cult.
Anybody in a cult. I can't stand it.
Mm-hmm. And you might be in a cult and not even know it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we don't like to get real political over here, but the way of the world right now is crazy. And I feel like I am someone who is reasonable. I can see both sides to every situation. I see people for people. I try to understand where they're coming from. And when it comes to political parties, whether you are hardcore left or hardcore right, if you are ride or die for that political party and can't just be reasonable and see both sides or have different opinions, then congratulations, you're in a cult.
Right? People who make it their entire identity is what I have a problem with.
Same.
Like, you can't question anything, have skepticism. Why?
Right. This world is about learning and questioning and making your own decisions and figuring things out. Like, you don't just pick a lane and stay in it your whole life. Like,
Right.
jump
It's not
around.
black and white.
No.
Yeah. Blindly
Yeah.
subscribing to a set of beliefs without thinking critically beyond that. I don't understand it.
Same. I don't either. And it's honestly what is tearing this country apart, if we really want to get into it, It is the radical Republicans or the radical Democrats that are ruining it for everyone, because then that's the persona that gets blasted in the media. That's what the other side is seeing. And then the other side is assuming, well, everybody over there is just like that. It's like, actually, no, not really.
Right? And there aren't just two sides.
No.
There's the majority of us are in the middle.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know what needs to happen to change, but this world is not going to get any easier or better if we're so polarized like that.
Let me lay another one on you. I would like to publicly shame the people who demonize store-bought animal products like beef or dairy and use fear to sell their own product. That really drives me nuts. I see it on Instagram all the time, kind of like these people that do direct to consumer beef, or they're homesteaders. They'll go buy chicken breast at the grocery store and then put it next to theirs, and it might look different. And they're like, see, this is why you should buy ours. Look how terrible this other one looks. And it's like, okay, let's critically think about the variables here, of why they might look different. They could have been fed different things. There could be different ways it was packaged. Like, that all plays a role, but it doesn't make one product more superior than the other. And I think in a world where not everybody lives near a farm or a store like yours, like Ranch and Root, where they can buy directly from a farmer and they have to go to Walmart or whatever, like, don't shame them for that. They're just trying to feed their family. Like, not everybody has the same resources or abilities, and there is nothing wrong with food at Walmart, produce at Walmart, meat at Walmart. Buy what you can when you can. Like, I buy a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I mean, you'll never catch me tearing down another farmer or another farmer's
method of farming. Like, we all do it different.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, we're all passionate about what we do, raising livestock, caring for the land. We want to do what's best. And sometimes that goes to grocery stores or Walmart, and sometimes that comes from our home farms directly. Just a little bit more transportation sometimes. Like, I don't know. I had to unfollow a few people that I saw doing that. I'm like, don't you bring that fear in here.
It does make me cringe a little bit.
A little bit. Very cringy. I just really jerks
Not
my chin.
everyone has access to that. Try living in a city.
Right?
Who, has to drive over an hour to get to any farm.
Mm-hmm.
So don't hate on people.
Right. No matter what you choose, where you get it, it's safe, it's nutritious. Good job on picking whole foods.
Whoop, whoop.
I would like to publicly shame people, especially people with children, who are maybe going through a divorce or a separation and then air all their dirty laundry and feelings on Facebook. First of all, I love it. Thank you for the entertainment. But also...
What are you talking about? I love the drama.
No.
Don't discourage this.
You will catch me just going through all those comments, dissecting the whole thing, getting investigated.
Doing my own research.
But gross. Why are you doing this? Especially if you have children. Like, how embarrassing for you. I'm embarrassed for you. You look like a dumbass. Keep that shit to yourself. Like, what? Is it making things better? No, because now we're all judging you and over here publicly shaming you. I don't know. I remember when my parents went through a messy divorce and separation, and granted, they weren't putting things on social media, but they were just saying things in front of me and my sisters, or even to me and my sisters. And it's like, that's my parent. Like, that's still someone I love and respect, and I don't want to hear them talking that way. Like, you got to keep that shit private. Lock it down.
Yeah.
Don't you have a friend you can talk to? Like, why are you putting it on Facebook? Go get a friend.
Or a therapist.
Yeah, or a therapist. Please.
Although, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Ooh, okay.
If it happened to me, personally, you know how we share our whole lives on the internet, on our pages. It's kind of our lives through our lens.
Yes.
If Aaron did something completely ridiculous and backstabbed me, would I be able to keep everything quiet on my end and not say anything? I don't know.
You have to, yes, the human in us wants to just be like, what in the actual fuck? This motherfucker. Sorry, that was a lot of F-bombs. But knowing that we are mothers, I think we would be like, I have to be strong for my children. I have to think about them. I'm going to handle this gracefully. I'm going to be like, hey, some things went down. You're not going to see Air Bear in the content anymore. He's out of here. And you leave it at that.
Yeah.
Or I would just leave little cookie crumbs maybe, and then let people put the pieces of the puzzle together. For instance, my Facebook status would just be like, cool. And that would be it.
Okay.
Okay. I've got more. Let me move on to another. I would like to publicly shame people who don't put their carts back in the cart corral. What do you?
Yeah, that's just rude.
Busy? You can't put your cart away? Take 5 minutes. Put it where it belongs.
It's barbaric.
I would like to publicly shame people who don't like noodles. Because what do you mean you don't like noodles? Tom is one of them.
Yeah. We had a discussion about noodles, Annaliese and I, about our husbands and how they're haters. And do they know they can put meat on the noodles?
I mean, it's so versatile. It's so delicious. It is a hug to your tummy. A little butter, a little salt, little Parmesan. That's a meal.
It's easy.
So easy. And it slaps every time.
Yeah. Don't trust anybody that doesn't like noodles,
Mm-hmm.
even our husbands.
I would also like to publicly shame my daughter.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, so we started these new chore charts, and I can't remember if I told you guys about this. Sorry if I did. But the way it works is they have to do 5 chores a week to get their allowance. So they pull a chore from the chore jar. Once they finish it, they get a check mark. And then in combination with that, there's also like a behavior chart. So if they have bad behavior, they get a check mark. And if they get 3 check marks in a week, then they don't get their allowance for the week, despite doing all of the chores. But if they get 0 behavior check marks, they get an extra $1. And the other morning, we were getting ready for school, and my daughter was just assassing me because she acts like she's 16 years old and runs this household and knows it all. And I said, you do not get to talk to me that way. You have continued to do it. That is a check mark. So she cries, goes to her room, whatever. We go about our morning. She comes back out, and I said, Sage, if you can tell me what you did wrong, how you're going to do better next time, and say you're sorry, I will erase that check mark. She pauses, goes, I'll just keep the check mark, and walks out the door to go to school.
I love that, though.
Like, I do too. Like, I laughed. Like, I didn't let her see me laugh.
Right.
But I was like, this is the kind of woman I want to raise. I love it for who she's going to be, but I hate it for me right now.
She made her choice. I respect that.
She will not back down. Like, I remember she was 4 years old and trying to tell me bananas. Like, I think she accidentally said bananas were green or some color that a banana was not. And I was like, no, Sage, bananas are yellow. And she wouldn't back down from that fight. She stood her ground and kept presenting new information about why it was this color. Then there was another time, I think she was 5, and there was like an 8-year-old boy at some family function we were at. And I don't even think she knew how to add much yet, like addition, math. And some boy said, the math problem is this answer. And she's like, no, it's not. And they were like going back and forth. And she got up from the kids' table to go ask me to get her pen and paper so she could show this boy the real way to like add and get the answer.
Was she correct?
She was.
Nice. See, you're raising a leader.
She should be a lawyer, probably, because she loves to argue.
Yeah, so does my oldest.
Will not back down.
Mm-hmm. I know the type.
Lucky us. I would like to publicly shame anyone who says must be nice instead of good for you. I hate
that is annoying.
We have a friend like that. Like, anytime we improve our home or get a new vehicle or, I mean, even like something small, like a new television, he's like, must be nice. And it's like, dude, you have a job and money and the ability to do whatever the fuck you want to.
Yeah. We have our own free will, remember? I don't think that phrase is ever acceptable. Like, I've never, like, it just doesn't, it's rude, no matter what. You know what I mean?
For sure. Immediately, I'm like, ugh, get out of here then. Don't even come to my house.
Right.
Should I keep going? Okay, just one more. Because it's so cold out, I want to publicly shame anybody who makes the weather a competition. Like, we're all cold.
They're like, wait, no, it's negative 35 here, wind chill. And you're like, who gives a shit? It's cold. Right? It's cold everywhere.
We're all cold.
Except for those people that are like, oh my God, it was like 58 here. And like, are you, what? Do not complain about 58. Be reasonable here.
Windows are open when it's 58.
Yeah. Windows down.
All right. Let's publicly shame some roommates.
Let's do it. Number 1. I moved out when I was 18 with one of my good friends as a roommate. One day I was chilling on the couch and a drug dealer broke in looking for him, and I had to run him off. Then he brought a pregnant crackhead home once during a snowstorm, not his baby, in parentheses.
Oh my
Then I
God.
found out he hadn't been paying his half of the bills. Then I told him to get the fuck out, but his name was on the lease. Then he got drunk and jumped me.
Jumped?
And jumped me. And ended up tripping and split his eye open. While he was in the hospital, someone, in parentheses, or quotes, took everything, his clothes, bed, etc., he owned, out of his room and put them in the apartment complex dumpster. Haven't seen him since.
I have a lot more questions. One, how did you run out the drug dealer? Like with knives? Or was he a nice drug dealer and you just asked him to leave?
You had to persuade him? That would have been me.
You're like, look, here's a
That was
cookie.
nice, like, persuade him.
Yeah, here's a cookie, but can you eat it outside? And then, what do you mean he jumped you? Where were you? And like, once he split his eye open, did you just leave him there?
Just laughed at him. Went back into his room. Oh, that's funny. He threw all of his shit in the dumpster.
Yeah, or someone did.
Yeah, allegedly.
All right, here's another one that rolled in from our OK Farm Girls. I went home from college and came back that weekend to move out. I didn't like the college and my boyfriend came with me. When we got there, someone had slept in my bed and there was drool, so I thought on my pillow. My boyfriend took matters into his own hands and went to his farm boy truck and got doe urine and put some on my roommate's toothbrush and in her shampoo bottle. She was a nasty girl to me all semester. This was revenge. Never heard from her again, but we knew this secret.
Tit for tat. Someone's whooped on her pillowcase. That's a whole new level.
I mean, but what if it was just drool? But either way, like, it's weird for your roommate to be sleeping in there.
Yeah, why would you? I messaged her back because I knew this gal.
Oh, did you?
I was like, do you really think it was like semen? Splooch? And she was like, yeah, I think so.
It's pretty crusty.
That's disgusting. My cousin had a roommate. This is not me, by the way. None of these stories are mine.
Yes, these are all from you. Cool.
The listeners, yep. My cousin had a roommate on the floor above mine from the New York City ghetto. She and her boyfriend would do it when my cousin was in the room. One day, my cousin got back from class to a note explaining that the cops had came and taken this roommate's boyfriend.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because I read ahead. I know what's coming.
Taking this roommate's boyfriend because he beat someone in the park with a tree branch. They had done a full search of the room and took him to jail. He later got charged with murder because a kid died.
Oh my God! Was this a log or a tree branch?
Like, holy shit. So, your cousin's roommate had a murdery boyfriend.
Yeah. Sorry. Like, initially I was like, oh, this is funny, like a tree branch, and I'm just picturing leaves whacking this guy in the face.
But then I'm like, no, he died. No, Annaliese seems like an asshole.
It was a full-grown tree that he beat him with. It's no branch.
Ew, I can't believe I did receive a lot of stories about roommates, like, getting it on while someone else was, like, you know, your roommate was there.
But back then, nobody cared. We were all drunk and... Look, I did some questionable things when I was young. All right?
I did too.
Here is another roommate confession. My roommate was a strange, creepy kid. My parents bought a house in Fenimore when I moved there to go to college, and I found roommates. Some were people I knew, but I had to find some we didn't know. We had a couple cool ones over the years, but this guy was whack. We had parties in the basement and did dumb shit as college kids do. One night we were partying and we were picking on this kid, and looking back, I feel kind of bad because we did kind of bully him. Anyway, found out he was a virgin and never had been kissed, so it was game on. We immediately did what immature kids do, and we either dared or paid our friend Jenny to kiss this guy. She ended up throwing up, and it was just a wild time. After that, he was still his creepy self, and one night my friend Aaron, who lived there with us, caught him peeking in on her while she was changing. So we said, that's it, you gotta go, and we kicked him out. It was super cold and he couldn't start his car. It was a mess. Called my parents, they came, and my dad, who was always packing, traced the outline of his handgun on our whiteboard. The guy left peacefully. My dad didn't show it to him or anything, but by then a gaggle of my friends had come over, and my dad was always a card and did it to be funny. The kid wasn't even in the room or may have never even seen it. Fast forward a few years, I moved to Platteville for more fucking around, college. And my friend Jenny, who had kissed this guy, meets someone. Wild romance. Shortly after starting to date, she finds out his brother is none other than the creepy dude we kicked out. He's a decent dude, just weird. We were mean and immature college kids, however, he crossed a line when he was a peeping Tom. She ended up having a baby with this guy, and the guy she kissed is her kid's uncle.
What are the chances?
Yeah.
You move, and it's the guy's brother?
That is... I didn't see that one coming.
Nope. That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh, Courtney, there's so many. Okay, keep going.
I told you.
Yes, you did.
My freshman roommate was a lesbian, which was fine. But her and her girlfriend went to different universities, and they'd go to sleep on Zoom together every night. I did switch rooms mid-semester because her Zoom was always on with her girlfriend.
That's weird.
I asked the follow-up questions. I was like, what do you, like, they just left the Zoom open? Like, the laptop was just always, like, filming you? And she's like, yeah. That's why. It was just weird.
Bizarre. Yeah.
Feels very invasive.
Very invasive. Like we said, we all do dumb stuff and have no self-awareness when we're that age. But I won't even take a phone call in front of people because that's awkward.
I
Let
know.
alone Zoom up all night while my roommate's trying to go to bed or do whatever she does, her nighttime routine. Odd.
It's odd.
Here's another one. 3 of us. One decided to move her druggy boyfriend into our apartment without talking to us. When we tried to just even talk to her about it, she blew us off, told us to fuck off. We went to our landlord. She ended up moving out 2 days later while the other roomie and I were gone. Good riddance. Short and sweet.
Okay, next confession. I used to keep Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies under my dorm bed for a snack. So when I got back from partying, I would have a good snack. One night, I got home and my roommate had eaten them all on me, and she wasn't even sorry. I was so mad. That crosses a line. Don't eat someone's snacks.
Right. Also, we should have made everyone who wrote in. Like, I'm just curious how many people had siblings and didn't. Because as someone who, had 2 sisters, nothing is safe. And
right.
I feel like you have more tolerance for shenanigans like your oatmeal cream pies being eaten. But I will say, if I would have eaten someone's oatmeal cream pies, because look, sometimes, how do you resist such a thing when you find it? But also, what are you doing digging under her bed? Did you know the oatmeal cream pies were there and you were just waiting for her to leave? Or were you snooping around and you're like, jackpot, oatmeal cream pies? Either way, you have to replace the oatmeal cream pies. Just be like, dude, I went a little savage on your snack stash. I owe you.
I feel like Annaliese is the antagonist in all of these stories. You're like, Actually, I might have done that.
I have no self-control, so I can understand that side. But I would make it right. I would always make it
Yeah.
right.
You totally would have replaced those cream pies.
Yeah,
I
I would
know
have
it.
doubled up. I would have bought 2 times the amount and been like, "Look, snacks for both of us now."
Okay.
All right, next confession. Roommate broke up with high school sweetheart and had to find herself. She started going to art therapy and would hang her artwork in the living room. We just all had to pretend to be very into it, but we were all just a bunch of farm kids that didn't get art whatsoever. She'd randomly make enough spaghetti to feed 20 people at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday. There were more random quirks too, but I think the most obnoxious thing was that she would randomly rollerblade around our apartment at all hours of the day. And we lived on the 3rd floor. Our downstairs neighbors had to have hated us. I'm just laughing because once again, I would probably be that person. It's so hard not to make spaghetti for 20 people.
But the rollerblades?
Look, if I had them, I'd be wearing them.
I'm just picturing her like tacking up all these weird. I went to art school, so I know how weird it gets.
Yeah.
And they'll just be like scribbles on the piece of paper.
It was like art.
And you'll be like, yes, this speaks to me.
It was the spaghetti that she was making. It inspired her art.
Oh, that's funny. The next one. I left school for a cow show, and when I came back, my roommate had fallen in love with my friend that also lived in our dorm. I was like, I left for 4 days and you became a lesbian lover with my friend. Cool. So she was just a third wheel.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a turn of events if you left and thought your friend was straight, and then you came back and they're like, oh.
We were just both lesbian lovers. And you're like, okay.
What a turn of events. All right, I think this is our last roommate story. Hopefully it delivers. I was renting a lower-level duplex apartment with 1 female and 1 male roommate, so all our windows were at ground level. We thought our male roommate was pretty chill, a hippie yoga-type soccer player. My bedroom was on the back side of the house where there was no alleyway, sidewalk, or public access. One night, I was getting out of the shower, I had a private bathroom, and my blinds were cracked open. It was dusk, and I noticed a human figure outside my bedroom with a green light on a rectangular box. I immediately freaked out and thought it was someone using their phone to record me. I rushed to get dressed, then went outside to see if anyone was there. My dude roomie was suspiciously cleaning out his truck with no light of any kind. I asked him if he saw anyone come out from behind the building, and he said no. The next day, I ordered a camera to put in my room to see if I could catch any suspicious movement. After a day or 2 of having the camera, I was at the gym and got a notification of movement. So I go on to watch, and it's him in my bedroom snooping through my side tables and going in and out of my bathroom. He noticed the camera and left. I messaged him immediately and asked what he was looking for. He said weed, because we usually smoked together. But he then avoided me like the plague. So when I saw him in the kitchen almost a week later, he tried to apologize. I told him how suspicious it was to catch him in my bedroom a day or 2 after he was the only one around when someone was snooping around my window. He looked guilty AF, and I didn't have a word to say. This reminds me of a story.
Do tell.
I don't even know if my mom knows this. I had a lot of male friends in high school, and I thought we were all cool, thought they were all nice, and come to find out, like, one of the friends, he was super smart, into, like, tech and science and all of that, but we'd frequently party at his house because his house had a hot tub and a bar, a high schooler's dream, right? But then one of my other guy friends told me that he had cameras in his bedroom because that's where we would change into our swimsuits.
I knew this was coming.
Uh-huh. And yeah, and then they'd all watch it. And so then one day after school, because like we were good friends, I would regularly just go to his house and his parents wouldn't, like if he wasn't there, I'd just be like, hey, forgot something. So after school, I told my other guy friend to drive me to his house and show me where all the cameras were. And I just totally fucked up his room and like all his expensive stuff.
Good. He deserves it.
He did. Sick.
He's lucky that that's all he got was you fucking up his stuff and not like pressing charges.
And also, like, when I was this young, I barely had tits, so hopefully you got a good show. There wasn't much to see. Was it worth it?
Yeah. No shit. That's messed up, man.
People. Look at, I just publicly shamed him. I won't say his name, though. All right. Let's move on to what the hell or what you ought to know. Which one?
Let's do what the hell. I got a good one.
Okay.
So, pork chops. I made a whole...
Your worst enemy.
So, I have always gotten sick from eating pork chops. And it's so bizarre because, like, I can eat pork ribs. I love them. I love bacon. I love all these things. But for some reason, pork chops and pork tenderloin, like, I die on the toilet.
Yeah.
So for some, I haven't had them in probably a year, but my friend was like, just wanted to do something nice for us. So she brought over pork chops and I ate them and I forgot. And I have been dying on the toilet ever since. This is going on like 3 days. Out of 3 days in. Horrible mistake.
That is not fun. All for a pork chop, too. Like,
I know.
I would have been at least something good. Make it worth it. Like, pork chops are I would rather have chicken breast than a pork chop. They're kind of just meh.
I don't really like chicken.
Me either, but I would rather eat chicken.
Pork chops, really.
But yeah. They're both pretty. What made me go, what the hell, is, I guess, basically just this weather. Cold for a really long time, and I'm annoyed, and I'm over it, and what I would do for 20 degrees. But also, choring with kids. When I have to go do my chores, I have to bundle up the kids and get them out there, which is an extra 30 minutes of them complaining about how they don't want to go outside, how they don't want to put on all these clothes. And I'm like, dude, I get it. Me too.
I don't either.
Right.
But here we are.
Gotta get out there, and we're going to sleep better if we get a little outside time. And it just, like, sometimes it's fine, but sometimes it really frustrates me that, like, when I have to go do my chores or things at the farm, it's always this thing with the kids where when Tom has something to do, he just gets to, like, get dressed and leave.
And do it. Yeah.
And not worry about watching kids too while he's doing the chores. Like, he's just doing it, and I'm trying to do my chores while also, like, keeping tabs on the kids and making sure they're not, like, whipping shitties in the Kubota. Yeah.
Right.
It just gets to me sometimes. And it's not a big deal, but maybe just recognize that, you know?
I feel your pain. Like, obviously, we love our children and we want them to be around, and we love farming because we have this opportunity to bring our kids to work, but we also hate it at the same time. Right? Two things can be true at the same time.
Speaking of kids and family, my whole family is obsessed with me, which is a good thing. But at bedtime, both kids want me to read them a story and put them to bed. It's never dad. Like, they're just like, no, I don't want dad. I'll wait until mom can come do it. And the dog won't even go to bed with Tom. I have to put the dog to bed. Rip will, because he sleeps in the shed. So, like, he will run away outside until I come out and say, Rip, it's time for bed. And then he waltzes right into the shed.
Oh my God, that's so cute, though.
And my husband.
And annoying.
If I don't tell my husband to go to bed, he's up all night, like, dozing off and on with the TV on. I have to be like, shut the TV off now.
You have to put the whole world to bed.
I do. You know? It's tough to be me. But this story brings me to my what you ought to know, which is something my sister just kind of told me. She said her husband was listening to some podcast and they were talking about positivity and how when something bad or inconvenient happens in your life, you just say good. And obviously this doesn't work for, like, extreme, terrible situations, but, like, the little inconveniences, like your baby shitting out its diaper up its back. Like, good. I have a child I had hoped for and I get to take care of. Like, thanks. And so when I'm putting my whole family to bed at night, I'm just like, good.
Good. It's
So
a good way to look at it.
Yeah, my what you ought to know is just try to say good.
Yeah. It's the same way with saying I get to do this instead of I have to do this.
Right. Shift your mindset. Did you have a what you ought to know?
My what you ought to know, was a fun little tip I saw. And this gal, she keeps a document on her phone, so in her notes app or whatever, called Things That Felt Like the End of the World But Weren't.
Ooh.
So she writes, every time I'm spiraling, I add to it. Then I get to read the old ones. So like her examples were, didn't get into first choice of college, but in parentheses, met my best friend at my second choice.
Mm.
And then second example is, thought I'd never get over them, in parentheses, can barely remember their face now.
Yep.
And so it's just proof for her that she can overcome and survive anything. And I loved that idea, and I think I will start that today.
Yes. Because I definitely spiral and get in my head about dumb shit. And it's like, for one, I think just the exercise of writing it down is probably freeing, like helps it, the anxiety lessen. And then, yeah, going back and reading those old things, you're probably laughing at what a psycho you were. Like, I can't believe this bothered me.
Right.
Because when you get out of that crazy headspace and you go back, you're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal.
Right. It's good to reflect on things you thought were terrible, and then they ended up being a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. Oh, I love that we're leaving this on a positive note after just giving it to everybody in this episode. Get out of here, you. Get out of here.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening today.
Have a day. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us today.
If you had as much fun as we did, would you do us a favor and share this episode with a friend?
Speaking of friends, can we all be friends over on the Instagram? You can find me at @ModFarmChick.
And me at Mrs. Green Pastures Cattle.
See you next week, guys.